boy ate 150 gummy vitamins for breakfast. This is what happened to his bones. TJ is a 14-year-old boy presenting to the emergency room with a broken arm. Sitting in triage as he was deemed low priority by hospital staff, he begins to lose consciousness. Last spring, TJ and his mother had had enough. Coming home from school every day, TJ would see his dad drunk and wasted away. One day, his dad went to buy groceries, and TJ never saw his dad again. His now single mother thought to move to America, so the two together went to the big city to visit. They had some money, but they didn't really speak English, and they didn't realize that things in the United States are a little bit different than they are at home. TJ had always been a fan of gummy candies. He was curious to see what they tasted like in America, so his mother bought him a lot of bottles. To them, candy coming in a bottle didn't seem strange. After all, everything was supposed to be nice in America, they thought. Every day he would eat 30 to 40 pieces, not knowing that the candies were actually vitamins. As the months passed, TJ's mother noticed that his belly was becoming swollen. They always joked back home that American food makes one heavy, so not out of the ordinary, they thought. One morning, while watching some videos, TJ opened a new bottle of gummy vitamins and, without realizing it, ate all 150 pieces. Nothing like a good breakfast, he thought. About an hour after eating the whole bottle, TJ couldn't stop urinating. He begins to cry out in pain. He's suffering a massive stomach ache and tells his mom that he feels like a giant rubber band squeezing him. This pain begins to push into his throat. As his mother tries to lay him down, TJ trips, falls, and breaks his arm. The two cry out for help. Inside the ambulance, TJ feels nauseous and starts to experience shock from his accident as he's brought to the emergency room where we are now. The admitting nurse triaged TJ's case, but as he slipped into unconsciousness, immediate attention was brought to him. And given his past history, there's a few clues as to what could be happening. Doctors find that TJ has fluid buildup, causing a swollen belly. This means that he could have liver damage, but a blood test finds that he has hypercalcemia. Hyper meaning high. Calci, short for calcium, which is an essential electrolyte, and emia, meaning presence in blood. High calcium presence in blood. But looking at the bottle of the gummy vitamins that TJ ate, there isn't any calcium. His mother tells the doctor that TJ hasn't vomited or defecated since eating all 150 gummies for breakfast, meaning that there hasn't been a major net flow of food out of his body. Those vitamins should be floating around somewhere inside of his body and should be detectable in large amounts. But more blood tests find no significant elevations in vitamins A through E, no elevations in iodine, zinc, or selenium. Instead, it reveals that TJ is dehydrated, which makes sense because he couldn't stop urinating before falling unconscious, but it also leads us to the first clue. If vitamins can't be detected in his blood after he ate 150 gummy vitamins, then it means that they could have exited the body in his urine. B vitamins and vitamin C are water soluble, meaning that they dissolve in water. They concentrate in the kidneys and get eliminated from the body through urine. But this doesn't make sense for vitamins A and D, which are fat soluble vitamins, meaning that they're oils. Oils don't mix well with water, so these vitamins can't be urinated out. Humans pee water, not fat. So, if he ate them recently and they aren't in his blood, they can't be urinated out, and he hasn't vomited, then it means those excess vitamins A and D must be hiding somewhere in his body. But where could they be? It couldn't be the muscles, because those hold on to water, which doesn't mix well with fat. It couldn't be the heart, because that's a muscle too. It could be the brain and the nerves, as they're made of 60% fat, but to get there would mean that the vitamins would have had to flow through the blood first, which they didn't. And because TJ ate the vitamins, the gummies traveled from his stomach into his intestines and absorbed into his liver, which may have been damaged because of that physical sign of the swollen belly. This indicates that TJ is suffering from hypervitaminosis, and it's responsible for his liver damage, his hypercalcemia, and his broken bones. Doctors collect a sample of his liver to look at underneath a microscope. They find that he has excess fat everywhere in that sample, meaning that vitamin A had been accumulating for some time in his liver, engorging the cells, causing them to die, and forming scar tissue. This means that TJ is experiencing the toxic effects of vitamin A in his liver, and that the 30 to 40 gummy vitamins that he ate like candy every day since arriving to America were slowly destroying his liver. The amount of vitamin A in 150 gummy vitamins is so massive, you'd get that amount if you ate 720 eggs. It's 63 times the recommended daily amount. And because TJ would normally eat 30 to 40 pieces every day for months, in addition to his other foods that he'd eat, then we can conclude that his liver damage is probably because of hypervitaminosis A due to mistaken ingestion of gummy vitamins as candy. If too much vitamin A is in the body, it blocks the effect of vitamin D. So let's go back to the name of TJ's condition, hypercalcemia, high calcium presence in blood. Vitamin D allows the intestines to absorb calcium. TJ didn't eat calcium in his gummy vitamins. He ate 188 times the recommended daily value of vitamin D. If vitamin A blocks vitamin D, and without vitamin D calcium doesn't get absorbed, then how does he have high calcium presence in blood? In the body, vitamin A is broken down to something called retinoic acid, something that's known to stimulate the breakdown of bones. And if the bones are made of calcium, and TJ has huge amounts of vitamin A in his body, then it means his hypercalcemia is likely from his bones breaking down up to a point where a simple fall that should have been no problem for a previously healthy 14-year-old boy fractured multiple bones in his arm. We can mend fractured bones. We can advise him on temporary behavioral changes to limit his risk of further fractures. We can drain his swollen belly from liver failure with diuretics, but there isn't any way for us to remove vitamin A from his liver. He will have to bear the pain of his acute and chronic hypervitaminosis A until his liver has sufficient time to clear it all out. After all, there isn't a better organ that removes toxins from the body than the liver. Because TJ and his mother were only visiting the United States, we don't know what became of them. Because he realized the gummies that he ate weren't candy but were actually vitamins, he immediately stopped. So while the final outcome of TJ isn't known, the last time that we saw him, he was on the right track to recovery. Take care of yourself.